You are immortal, not immortal. Most don't know or care for the distinction, but the two conditions could not be more different. Most kids scrape their knees and fall off trees, but nothing's ever so much as broken my skin. Not because I was kept in a bubble growing up either. Back when my parents were around, they'd just toss me outside and tell me to go play when they needed some time alone. The other kids were strange, though. We all had a game where we pretended there was a kid named Lorraine and that he was a big bully. Even the adults joined in. The woman who we all said was Lorraine's mom would set out food for him and had a room and everything, but there was just no kid there at all. And then one day, while we were playing pretend and acting like Lorraine was real, someone faked Lorraine hitting me, and then we all got up and left and never mentioned Lorraine again. I sort of figured what was going on with me wasn't normal for everyone. Dad broke his back falling off a ladder. Sarah lost a finger to a wild hog. Meanwhile, all those patches of moss that had been growing in the road for as long as anyone could remember just happened to be right under my body whenever I tripped. It got to the point where I could predict where the next time I'd stumble and fall would be. Wherever those soft, mossy growths were, sooner or later, I'd trip and land harmlessly in the center. It got to the point where I became curious. Mom was chopping carrots, and I asked if I could see the knife, just to feel what pain was like. When she handed it to me, it turned out she was cutting the carrots with a dull old stick. She was wondering why it was taking so long. I made a game of it. If I ask Mom for a knife, she was holding a stick all along. If I don't think about touching it, it stays a blade. And then I started panicking. Because I learned the rules, because I was still young enough that I hadn't yet learned how time worked, and when I worked it out, I could see circles instead of lines. I could not be hurt, I could not be killed, and whenever something tried, the world shifted so that it had never been. If I was about to prick my finger on a knife, the rules rewrote it so it had always been a stick. If I was about to stub my toe on a rock, the rules rewrote it so it had always been moss instead. And if a stupid little kid punched me, whatever was protecting me made it so that he had never been born. I figured there were other rules. The way the changes happened, it wasn't a perfect cut. There was a Lorraine-shaped hole in the world, right up until he tried to hurt me. Nobody noticed anything strange, no matter how many times they all had to act as if the boy was still there. And nobody reacted when I tried to warn them. So I tried my best to stay away from anything that could get me hurt. I hid away so nobody else would disappear. And then the caravan came. Everyone was overjoyed. There would be entertainment, books from the city, gossip from all over the kingdom. But when I poked my head out and saw what everyone had gathered around, the carts were empty. The seats weren't even warm.